So the next differentiation is this differentiation, and this has to do a lot with our thoughts, between feelings, sensations. What is the life inside me? What is happening in my body? And what are my thoughts? What is my narrative? What is my interpretation about what's happening right now? Okay. And one of the things I was going to do is send around like a piece of paper that people wanted to write their email addresses on. I could send handouts afterwards. I didn't want to print up a lot of handouts and use paper, not knowing how many were wanted. But if people are wanting handouts, I'll get your email address and I'll send them to you. And one of the handouts I would send you is a list of words very commonly used in our culture to describe feelings that often leave the listener, the receiver of that word, very confused as to what's actually happening inside of you. Anybody think of some of those words might be?
Fine.
What?
The word fine.
Yeah, fine, sort of neutral. I like that one. What else?
Maybe.
What?
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever. Yeah, I love these are sort of expressions. But what about like I feel put upon when you talk to me that way? Or I feel belittled.
How about abandoned?
Or I feel abandoned. Has anybody ever been abandoned? Get your hands up if you've been abandoned. Let's see them high. Let's have a... All right, so someone in the back. What did it feel like to feel abandoned? If you were to use a different feeling word.
Sad.
You felt sad. Well, someone else. What did it feel like when you felt abandoned? Lonely. So just there, like let's pause there. If I were talking to you and you told me, Jared, you abandoned me, I might think you're lonely and say, what do you mean I abandoned you? I've been with you all day. When really you were trying to tell me you were sad. Tragic, right? So there's a long list of these words, and I can send them to you, but why is it tragic? Why is abandoned hard to understand the feelings alive in that person? How is it I'm more likely that I'm going to hear that? As I've abandoned you. So if you're wanting me to know you're sad, and you tell me that I've abandoned you, my reaction is more likely, go believe yourself. I didn't abandon you, how dare you? And now we're in a very typical conflict. Right? Can you imagine it? I don't want to abandon you. I want to offer empathy to you. I want to be connected to your feeling. So, an invitation here on two levels. Two levels. First is the actual verbal, the verbal component, the form of NBC as it informs our language. If I'm going to express my feeling, I want to be mindful of my words to really invite feelings that reveal what my experience is, irrespective of the context with you. I feel sad. I feel lonely. I feel scared. I feel shaky. I feel nervous. Anyone here going to tell me that I don't feel that way? Opposed to, I feel ignored. Feel like you don't really know what you're talking about. I feel that you are a narcissist. Not revealing my feelings. Instead, I'm sharing a narrative, sharing a story of you talking about yourself, or you not looking me in the eye the way I want you to look me in the eye when I'm talking, or etc. So on one level, there is my verbal selective choice of words. But on a deeper level, on the consciousness level, in my thoughts, in my mind, this continuum provides tremendously valuable information. So some people have expressed that they have thoughts of I don't deserve anything, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not enough. Those are thoughts. I want to begin inside myself to recognize that I'm over here on this continuum and ask myself, well, what does that feel like when I tell myself I don't deserve anything? What does it feel like when I tell myself, I stink at this? What sensations are in my body? And the reason why that's also useful is because these thoughts over here, I'm not good at this. They're mean. They're ugly. No one understands me. These thoughts let me know something critical. What might they let me know? What I'm needing. What I'm needing. I'm not good at this. I stink at this. What's precious to me? What do I value? Heard. Or assurance. Or ease. Or comfort. So why we got stuck over here, instead of letting this be a way of connecting to this, is tragic to me. Similarly, on this end of the continuum, this is a really powerful couplet. Because our feelings in this model are sensations, those qualities that we were talking about, shaky, nervous, lonely, hungry, excitement, joy, happiness, they come from a sense of our needs being satisfied or not. Our emotional life, our senses life in this model are indicators. They're nature's way of letting us know what needs are up for us. So for many of us who have been totally educated out of being in touch with our needs, this continuum is a really powerful place for practice, for getting to know our needs. And what's beautiful about it for me is I could be anywhere on this continuum. Deep in pure thought, or really in core feeling. And both let me know what needs are up for me, what matters to me, what life is like. Similarly, this couplet here of feelings and needs, when Marshall Rosenberg, who developed nonviolent communication, developed it, this couplet, he believed, is the most potent way we have of expressing and revealing the life inside of us, or being with the life inside of someone. So when Marina was talking about in the beginning, how do we show up in our relationships with our children in ways where they don't experience judgment, or diagnosis, or evaluation, and are trusting us as listeners who care about the life inside of them? I want to do a lot of inquiry in what they might be feeling and what they might be needing when they behave in ways that are otherwise scary or baffling to me. I want to be curious about the life inside of them and use that language so they begin to experience, wow, my dad is really different than the other dads. When I come home and call him a jerk, he gets curious. He wants to know if I've had a rough day and if I'm needing to be heard, which is kind of annoying, but it's kind of cool too, and I don't know what to make of it. It's disarming. And that's the root of the empathy practice of nonviolent communication. Being with someone with an awareness and an attention and a curiosity about the life inside of them, their feelings and their needs. Similarly, because remember this is a continuum, really helpful information for young people who are not yet verbal or fully functioning members of our rather sick society who are not so verbal. Does anyone have one of those in your life? A grown partner who is not as verbal as you would enjoy them being? Empathy can be given on what their thoughts are, what their strategies are. You come home and you sit in the chair and you watch TV from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night. I'm wondering, are you tired and needing rest? You're telling me that I'm a jerk and that I've abandoned you. I'm wondering, are you frustrated, angry, and wanting to be heard? These two continuums make up the inner world, what's alive inside of us. There's two more components that I want to get to next. So before I transition, I'll just pause. Are there questions about the two that we've covered so far?
How do you say what you just said to a 4-year-old on a lollipop?
How do I say what?
What are your needs right now?
I would never say, what are your needs right now?
Pardon?
I would never say, what are your needs right now?
How are you feeling?
I would never say, how are you feeling? Do you want to know why?
Then just say, I want.
But do you want to know why I would never say those things? Because if I ask you, what are you feeling? What are you needing? It requires you to start thinking about yourself and trying to figure out what you're feeling and needing. And odds are you don't know, especially if you're 4. And some 4-year-olds that I know too. Like, if I'm not comfortable with my feelings, or if I don't know anything about my needs, asking you to tell me what your needs are doesn't help. I'm going to give you an opinion. So ask me, Jerry, what are you needing?
As if you're four?
Or just, yeah, sure.
Jerry, what do you need?
I don't know. So, I might say, are you hungry?
I want that lollipop.
You like lollipops?
I want it.
You like lollipops?
Yeah, I want
Yeah. Anything else?
it. So you're married?
No, I'm connecting to feelings and needs.
I say yeah.
I heard you. You want a lollipop, right?
But the answer is no. And if you say no.
Are you curious to know what I want? Are you asking me a question?
No, I just want that lollipop.
Yeah, I heard you. You really want that lollipop. Imagine you want something sweet and tasty.
Is that how you say no to a 4-year-old? What you just did?
I just empathize with you. I didn't say no. I empathize with you. And I reveal me. We're still in dialogue. We're still talking. We're still connected. We're not done yet. But I'm doing actually what I enjoy the most in life, which is connecting with the child. Oh my God, you want a lollipop? That's beautiful. Now, if I were in a rush, that's a different story. What if I'm like trying to get somewhere? Sweetheart, I hear you want a lollipop right now. I don't have time to talk to you about it. I really want to get to blah, 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 blah. And it's an ownership of my power. I'm not going to apologize for it. Or I might say to a 4-year-old, oh, I'm really torn. I want you to have a lollipop too. And I'm really thinking about Dad who wants us home right now. I don't know how to do both. Let's get in the car, we're going. If that's the state you're in. But me, I like to try as much as possible to slow it down. Like, what's more fun than checking in with a child who wants a lollipop? Cool. So I'm doing a dance. What I want to be really clear is we're jumping ahead a little bit, and I've seen the hands going up, and people are excited about it, and that's awesome. Remember the time. But what I'm doing is the dance. I'm integrating different skills. I'm going from self-connection, aware of what's important to me, curiosity about what's happening for you, to empathy for you, in language that a 4-year-old might understand, to self-expression for me, in a way that a 4-year-old might understand. And I'm very far from the formula. I didn't say feelings. I didn't say needs, because that's disconnecting for a 4-year-old. And let's remember the purpose here, the consciousness of it, is still about connection. The worst thing on earth for me, in my job, in my role, in my life, is to teach people at NBC and then watch them go out into the world like robots and start saying things like, I feel like this, and you need like that. And it's painful because it's so disconnecting. And this beautiful practice that I'm so attached to about this consciousness of interdependence, I want it to be connecting between people. So I don't use the form with a 4-year-old who it's going to be disconnecting. On the other hand, I might start doing a habit of empathizing with myself out loud. So a 4-year-old hears me talking to myself the way I want to talk to myself and begins to hear some of these words. And I might really bring those need words and those feeling words into my exchange with them. You really like lollipops. You love to taste things that are sweet. Am I getting that right? I'm wondering, are you hungry right now and needing some food? I'm curious. This might seem like a stretch, but do you want to know that I love you? Do you want to know that I love you? Are you asking for a lollipop because you want to know I love you? Okay? No? Okay, thanks. No, not that. You know I love you, right? Oh, I'm so touched and glad to hear that. Okay. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
So I saw some other hands up, and I just would invite some self-discernment right now. I've got 30 minutes before our agreed upon time. There are still 2 more components to get to, and I'm also happy to pause here and provide whatever clarity. So with that awareness, those of you who had hands up, if you really need to have this question asked in order to feel like